You know that feeling, right? That subtle tremor of doubt, the quiet whisper that tells you you're not quite enough. It's a familiar ache, a constant undercurrent. You're here because you're tired of playing small, tired of that internal resistance. Yet something keeps pulling you back, making you react in ways you later regret. What if the very way you've been taught to handle insecurity is actually keeping you trapped in it? That's a counterintuitive idea, I know, but stay with me for a moment. This isn't about some magic pill or a sudden burst of motivation that fades by next Tuesday. This is about a real process, a human process, that I've seen work countless times. You see, insecure people don't just feel insecure, they react in predictable patterns, patterns that sabotage their potential, their wealth, their peace of mind. Today, I'm going to show you the truth about these reactions. We're going to pull back the curtain on why you keep losing precious time, energy, and opportunities. I'll walk you through the exact process to begin reversing that trend, starting today. This isn't just theory from a textbook. This is what it looks like in practice, for high performers and everyday people alike. Have you ever found yourself over-explaining? Or maybe shutting down completely when you feel a flicker of doubt? Or perhaps you default to procrastination, even when you know the stakes are high? That's not a character flaw. It's a signal. It's a reaction. And the truth, a simple truth, is that these reactions are costing you. They're sacrificing your potential wealth and peace of mind, brick by brick. The good news? You can change that. And it starts with recognizing the pattern. It's an inevitable process once you see it clearly. But before we dive into the how, I want to hear from you. In the comments below, just type clarity. It's a quick signal to me and to yourself that you're ready to move past the noise and embrace a new level of understanding. Just one word, clarity. Go ahead, do it now. Now let's talk about what happens when you're stuck in this cycle. You might think it's about needing more confidence or a stronger mindset. Perhaps you've tried all the affirmations and positive thinking. And while those have their place, they often feel like putting a Band-Aid on a deeper issue, don't they? That's because they don't address the root of the reactive pattern. The common advice out there often misses a critical step. It tells you to just believe in yourself or fake it till you make it. But in practice, that approach often leads to burnout, or worse, reinforces the very insecurity it's trying to mask. You end up feeling like an imposter, constantly on edge. That's not a sustainable path to success. That's just another way to play small. The real challenge isn't the feeling of insecurity itself. It's your response to it. It's how you navigate that subtle tremor of doubt. And for most people, that navigation system is broken, or worse, non-existent. They're drifting, reacting to every internal whisper and external challenge. They lack a clear internal compass. Think about it. How many times have you let a small doubt snowball into a missed opportunity? Or allowed the fear of judgment to keep you from sharing your best ideas? These aren't isolated incidents. They are symptoms of a deeper, systemic issue in how we process and respond to our own perceived shortcomings. And this isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. We're not talking about overnight miracles here. That's a common pitfall, a promise that often leads to disappointment. What we're discussing is a deliberate, step-by-step approach. It's a process, not a destination. And it begins with understanding the mental antibodies, the old habits and self-doubt that will try to pull you back. You need to recognize those moments and re-anchor. This is about installing a new operating system for your life, one that empowers you to move from insecurity to unstoppable action. It's about gaining the clarity you need to serve, succeed, and truly thrive. It's about building your own internal navigation system, what I call the clarity compass. And over the next 28 minutes, we're going to walk through the exact steps to construct this. We'll learn how to diagnose your reactive patterns, prioritize with ruthless efficiency, execute with newfound confidence, and continuously refine your path. This isn't just about learning new information. It's about a fundamental shift. You've tried to just think positive, haven't you? And for a moment, it feels good. You get a burst of motivation. But then the subtle tremor of doubt creeps back in, that quiet whisper. And you're right back where you started. You're playing small again. The truth is, those fleeting moments of motivation aren't enough. They'll build the deep, structural change you need to move from insecurity to unstoppable action. This isn't about willpower. It's about a system. It's about installing that new operating system we talked about. So how do you actually build your own clarity compass, tailoring it to your unique challenges and ambitions? How do you identify those critical levers that unlock your personal high performance? And what are the subtle sabotages you need to watch out for? This is where our inevitable process begins. It's a journey of 4 crucial steps that will transform your reactions. Stay with me, because the first step is often the most overlooked, yet it holds the key to everything else. The first step, in practice, is to truly diagnose your reactive patterns. What exactly triggers that feeling of not being quite enough? Is it a challenging email, a critical comment online, a looming deadline for a big project, or maybe just the quiet moments when your own thoughts turn against you? Answering this honestly is where true clarity begins. You might be surprised by what you uncover here. The real insights are often hidden in plain sight. Think about that time you procrastinated on a big task. Was it laziness, or was it a fear of not meeting expectations, a subtle doubt about your capabilities trying to protect you? Once you see your patterns with genuine clarity, the next step is to prioritize with ruthless efficiency. This isn't about doing more. It's about doing the right things. The things that genuinely move your needle forward, not just fill your calendar. It's about deciding what truly matters and what you're willing to let go of. You might realize, for example, that checking email first thing in the morning, a common habit, actually triggers your insecurity, pulling you into a reactive state before your day even truly begins. What if you shifted that? This step alone can free up hours of mental energy you didn't even know you were wasting. With clarity on your patterns and your priorities, you then move to execute with newfound confidence. This isn't about feeling confident before you act. That's a common pitfall. It's about taking action, even small, consistent actions that build confidence through the process. This is a simple truth. Instead of waiting for inspiration to strike, you commit to 30 minutes of focused work on your most important task. You do it knowing you're addressing a key priority and actively counteracting a reactive pattern. And here's another simple truth. Consistent small wins compound faster than any burst of fleeting motivation. If you're finding this breakdown helpful, if you're starting to see how this process can truly shift your own reactions and build genuine clarity, go ahead and hit that like button right now. It helps me know this deep dive into practical application is resonating with you, and it signals to the algorithm to share this clarity with more people who desperately need it. Finally, the fourth step is to continuously refine your path. The Clarity Compass isn't a set-it-and-forget-it tool. Life changes. Challenges evolve. Your internal landscape shifts. This means regular check-ins, honest self-assessment, and a willingness to adapt what you're doing. Just like a pilot constantly adjusts their course to stay on target, you'll learn to make micro-adjustments to your daily habits and responses. Maybe a new trigger appears, or an old one fades. You refine. This constant refinement is the secret to long-term resilience, the key to transforming potential into undeniable results. These 4 steps: diagnose, prioritize, execute, refine are the core of building your own clarity compass. They help you recognize those moments when old habits and self-doubt try to pull you back, and give you a powerful way to re-anchor yourself. But how do you actually implement this, especially when those mental antibodies fight back? That's what we'll dive into next. That's a critical question, isn't it? Because knowing the steps is one thing. Actually doing them, especially when that subtle tremor of doubt hits, that's another challenge entirely. Those mental antibodies aren't just abstract ideas. They are deeply ingrained neural pathways, whispers of past failures, fears of future judgment. They're designed to keep you safe, but they end up keeping you small. Think of it like this. Your mind, left unchecked, is like a ship without a rudder in a choppy sea. Every wave of doubt, every gust of insecurity pushes you off course. You react, you drift, you lose momentum, and before you know it, you're far from where you intended to go. You're back to playing small. How do you recognize these moments when old habits and self-doubt try to pull you back? It's often in the subtle shifts, the sudden urge to check your phone instead of focusing, the familiar voice that says, "You're not good enough for this," the sudden fatigue that makes you want to put off an important task until tomorrow. These are your antibodies activating. The simple truth is, they will always be there. You cannot eliminate them entirely, but you can learn to recognize them, acknowledge their presence, and then, crucially, re-anchor yourself. This isn't about fighting a war against your own mind. It's about skillful navigation. What if I told you that the most powerful way to re-anchor isn't through brute force, but through a specific, almost invisible, shift in perspective? It's not what you do, but how you perceive your own reactions. This is where the inevitable process truly takes hold. In practice, re-anchoring means having a predetermined response to these internal pulls. It's about installing a new default. Instead of reacting with procrastination or self-criticism, you react with a pre-planned, purposeful action. It's a moment of conscious redirection. Let's get even more practical for a moment. When you feel that familiar pull to defer, to avoid, to overthink, ask yourself, is this my clarity compass guiding me? Or is this an antibody trying to pull me off course? That simple question creates a split second of awareness. And in that split second, you have power. This isn't about perfection, remember? It's about consistency. It's about making that small, conscious choice to re-anchor again and again. Each time you do, you strengthen that new operating system, making it easier the next time. The compound effect of these small re-anchoring moments is staggering. You see, many people think they need to feel confident before they act. But that's putting the cart before the horse. The clarity compass helps you act to build confidence. It's a subtle but profound difference. It reverses the traditional, often ineffective approach. So how do you actually build this internal navigation system, this clarity compass, so it consistently guides you through the doubt and into unstoppable action? How do you make it an undeniable part of your daily rhythm? That's where we introduce a powerful, unique mechanism. Imagine you're driving, and suddenly you hit a patch of fog. Your vision blurs. You feel that tremor of doubt, that quiet whisper of uncertainty. Most people would slow down, maybe even pull over, waiting for the fog to clear. That's a reactive pattern. But what if you had a tool, a simple, elegant device that could cut through that fog, not by magically clearing it, but by giving you an undeniable, rock-solid point of reference? This isn't about some complex psychological hack. It's about a clear, tangible way to orient yourself, even when your internal landscape is shrouded in doubt. It's about identifying those critical levers that unlock your personal high performance. And it's about understanding the subtle sabotages you need to watch out for. We're going to dive into the core of the clarity compass now. This is the mechanism that allows you to consistently move from insecurity to unstoppable action, transforming potential into undeniable results. It helps you recognize those moments and re-anchor, understanding that consistency, not perfection, is the key. And it all begins with understanding how to truly calibrate your internal navigation system. To truly calibrate your internal navigation system, your clarity compass, we need to understand its core function. It's not about eradicating doubt entirely. That's an impossible promise, and frankly, a misleading one. The truth, a simple truth, is that doubt will always be a part of the human experience. The real power of the clarity compass lies in its ability to give you an unwavering point of reference when that subtle tremor of doubt hits. It's about creating an internal GPS, an inevitable process that guides you through the fog. But how do you actually build this? How do you make it an undeniable part of your daily rhythm? Think of it like this. Your internal navigation system, your clarity compass, isn't a magical device that makes the fog disappear. Instead, it's like a highly advanced, military-grade laser guidance system. Imagine a pilot flying through a blinding sandstorm in the desert. Visibility is zero. Every instinct screams to panic, to react, to veer off course. That's the feeling of insecurity. Most people, without a clarity compass, are just reacting to the turbulence, losing precious time, energy, and opportunities. They sacrifice their potential wealth and peace of mind because they can't see the path forward. They're just guessing, hoping for the best. But our pilot, with this laser guidance system, isn't relying on sight. They're locked onto a target, an undeniable beacon, a precise trajectory. The system cuts through the sandstorm, not by clearing it, but by giving an absolute, unshakable reference point. It tells them, with unwavering certainty, exactly where they are and exactly where they need to go, even when every external signal is chaos. That's what your clarity compass does for your life. It's your internal laser guidance system. It helps you recognize those moments when old habits and self-doubt, those mental antibodies, try to pull you back, and it gives you a precise, predetermined response to re-anchor. This isn't about feeling confident before you act. It's about acting with clarity, which then builds genuine confidence. Let's see this in practice. Without your clarity compass, you know that feeling, right? A big project lands on your desk, or a critical decision looms. That subtle tremor of doubt appears. That quiet whisper telling you you're not quite enough for this. You freeze, you procrastinate, you play small. You spend hours overthinking, losing precious time and energy. The opportunity slowly slips away, and you sacrifice your potential for wealth and peace of mind. Now, imagine that same scenario with your clarity compass calibrated and active. The big project lands. That familiar, subtle tremor of doubt hits. But instead of freezing, you instantly recognize it as an antibody trying to pull you off course. You don't fight the feeling, you acknowledge it. Then, you engage your clarity compass. You immediately reference your pre-established priorities. You see the first, most impactful action you committed to. You execute that action, even a small one, with newfound confidence. You move from the feeling of insecurity to unstoppable action, transforming potential into undeniable results. You cut through the internal fog, guided by your own laser-sharp focus. This isn't magic. This is a process. It acknowledges the mental antibodies, the old habits and self-doubt, and gives you a powerful, practical way to navigate them. It's designed to help you recognize those moments and re-anchor, understanding that consistency, not perfection, is the key. What does 90 days of this kind of focused discipline look like for your productivity, your mental clarity, your financial trajectory? The compound effect is staggering. It's about installing a new operating system for your life, one that empowers you to move from insecurity to unstoppable action. If you're ready to build your own internal laser guidance system, your clarity compass, and start navigating your life with this kind of precision, then you need to be part of what we're building here. Because in the next video, I'm going to walk you through a live demonstration of how to identify those critical levers that unlock your personal high performance. You won't want to miss that. So you're committed to building your own clarity compass. You understand it's your internal laser guidance system, designed to cut through the fog of doubt and steer you towards unstoppable action. But how do you identify those critical levers, the ones that truly unlock your personal high performance? It's a question that often trips people up. Because the truth, a simple truth, is that most of us are pulling the wrong levers, or worse, no levers at all. You see, the clarity compass doesn't just help you react differently when insecurity strikes. It helps you proactively design a life where those moments have less power. It helps you understand the subtle sabotages you need to watch out for, those hidden traps that keep you playing small. And these sabotages often masquerade as productivity, as busy work. But here's the game changer, the detail that truly transforms your approach. Your clarity compass helps you pinpoint those actions where a small, focused effort creates a disproportionately large impact. These are your critical levers. Think about it. How many times have you felt overwhelmed, trying to do everything, only to realize you've made little real progress? That's where the clarity compass steps in. It's about more than just managing your time. It's about managing your energy and your attention with surgical precision. This is the process inevitable. Instead of chasing every shiny new strategy, you learn to identify the one or two actions that, when executed consistently, generate a ripple effect across your entire life. In practice, this means asking yourself, what is the single most important action I can take right now that, if done, makes everything else easier or unnecessary? That's a critical lever. And your clarity compass, by helping you diagnose your reactive patterns and prioritize with ruthless efficiency, reveals these levers with undeniable clarity. It's like having an X-ray vision for your goals. You stop guessing, you stop reacting. You start acting with purpose, guided by an internal system that's tailored to your unique challenges and ambitions. This isn't about some generic blueprint. This is about your blueprint. But there's a catch, a subtle sabotage you need to watch out for. Even with your clarity compass pointing the way, those mental antibodies will still try to pull you back. They'll whisper doubts, suggest distractions, or make you question the process. This is why consistency, not perfection, is the key. That's why the clarity compass is designed to help you recognize those moments and re-anchor, understanding that every small re-anchoring choice strengthens your new operating system. It's about building momentum, brick by brick, not waiting for a sudden, miraculous transformation. This is about building a habit of clarity. Imagine the freedom that comes from knowing, with unwavering certainty, that you are always moving in the right direction, even when the external world feels chaotic. That's the promise of your clarity compass. It transforms that subtle tremor of doubt into a signal for action, a prompt to engage your internal laser guidance system. What does 90 days of this kind of focused discipline look like for your productivity, your mental clarity, your financial trajectory? The compound effect is staggering. It's not just about doing more. It's about doing what truly matters, consistently. And that, in practice, is the difference between potential and undeniable results. This isn't just about learning new information. It's about installing a new operating system for your life, one that empowers you to move from insecurity to unstoppable action. It's about gaining the clarity you need to serve, succeed, and truly thrive. And it starts with making the deliberate choice to build this internal navigation system. So how do you actually build this day by day when the old habits try to creep back in? How do you ensure your clarity compass remains calibrated, always guiding you towards your highest potential? The answer lies in making it an undeniable part of your daily rhythm, a non-negotiable commitment to yourself. And that's what we'll bring into sharp focus next. Making it an undeniable part of your daily rhythm, that's the true commitment. It's not about grand gestures, but about micro choices consistently made. Think of it as installing a daily calibration routine for your internal laser guidance system. Each morning, or before a critical task, you engage your clarity compass. You ask, what are my true priorities today, unclouded by doubt? And then, what is the single most important action I need to take? That's the clarity in practice. This daily ritual isn't about adding more to your plate. It's about consciously removing the noise, cutting through the fog of distraction and insecurity that tries to pull you back. It's about being proactive, not reactive. The truth, a simple truth, is that consistency in these small moments builds an unstoppable momentum. You remember that subtle tremor of doubt? That quiet whisper that tells you you're not quite enough? When you have your clarity compass, that feeling transforms from a paralyzing fear into a simple signal. It's a cue to check your internal GPS, to re-anchor yourself to your pre-established path. This process is inevitable once you commit to it. What does 90 days of this kind of focused discipline look like for your productivity, your mental clarity, your financial trajectory? We've touched on this. The compound effect is staggering. It transforms potential into undeniable results, not through magic, but through deliberate, consistent action. You stop playing small. You start serving, succeeding, and truly thriving. This entire journey has been about understanding that insecure people always react in ways that sacrifice their potential wealth and peace of mind. But by building your clarity compass, your internal laser guidance system, you gain the power to diagnose your reactive patterns, prioritize with ruthless efficiency, execute with newfound confidence, and continuously refine your path. That's the clarity you've been seeking. If this deep dive into building your clarity compass has resonated with you, if you're ready to stop playing small and start navigating your life with precision, then join our community. Hit that subscribe button right now. Don't miss out on the next steps in this process. And if you found even one nugget of clarity in this video, please give it a like. It truly helps us reach more people who need this message. I also want to invite you to dive deeper. We have an entire playlist dedicated to Zig Ziglar's success principles, designed to complement this clarity compass framework. It's a treasure trove of insights that will help you solidify this new operating system. You can find the link in the description. Go on a marathon, and before you go, tell me, what's one specific antibody, one old habit or self-doubt that you're now ready to recognize and re-anchor from? Share your commitment in the comments below. Just type re-anchor and tell us what you're letting go of. Your insights help us all grow. Remember, the goal isn't perfection, it's consistency. It's about making that small, conscious choice to re-anchor again and again. Each time you do, you strengthen that new operating system, making it easier the next time. This is how you move from insecurity to unstoppable action. This isn't just about learning new information. It's about installing a new operating system for your life, one that empowers you to move from insecurity to unstoppable action. It's about gaining the clarity you need to serve, succeed, and truly thrive. The path is clear. Now, we've talked about identifying critical levers, but how do you actually test these levers in real time, under pressure, to truly unlock your personal high performance? How do you ensure you're not just reacting, but proactively shaping your future? In our next video, we're going to pull back the curtain on a live demonstration, showing you exactly how to calibrate your clarity compass for maximum impact. revealing the subtle sabotages you absolutely must watch out for. You won't want to miss it.